Welcome back to Wheel Reverend, the place where we break down the world's most exciting bikes so you can decide if they deserve a spot in your dream garage. Today, we're diving into a machine that's practically a legend on the road and the track, the brand new 2025 BMW S1000 RR. BMW has been redefining the superbike game since the original S1000 RR burst onto the scene in 2009. Back then, it shocked everyone with outrageous power, bleeding-edge tech, and a look that split opinions but made you look twice. 16 years later, the 2025 version continues that tradition, but it's sharper, smarter, and somehow even faster. Let's start with the beating heart of this superbike, its engine. The 2025 S1000 RR runs an updated 999cc inline 4 that now makes a hair over 210 horsepower at a screaming 13,750 revolutions per minute. That's an increase of about 3 horsepower over the outgoing Model A. Not a huge number on paper, but the real story is how that power is delivered. Thanks to BMW's ShiftCam variable valve timing system, the bike has a broader, meatier torque curve. You're looking at around 113 Nm of torque peaking at 11,000 revolutions per minute. But what really matters is how usable that torque is across the rev range. From low-speed city blasts to hammering down a straight at full throttle, the engine feels alive, eager, and perfectly controllable. One of the biggest updates is the intake system. BMW has revised the intake ports for better flow and efficiency. The result is a bike that breathes better and pulls harder when you twist the throttle. Combined with lighter internals and a reworked exhaust system, the new S1000 RR is more responsive and sounds angrier than ever, in the best way possible. Of course, all that power means nothing if you can't put it down confidently. That's where the chassis and electronics come in. The S1000 RR continues to use BMW's aluminum flex frame design, which cleverly uses the engine as a load-bearing element. This keeps the bike stiff where it needs to be while shedding precious kilograms. The bike weighs around 193 kilograms fully fueled and ready to ride. It's not the lightest leader bike out there, but it feels incredibly agile thanks to perfect weight distribution and a redesigned subframe that saves a few grams here and there. Aerodynamics are another big highlight for 2025. BMW has borrowed heavily from its track-focused M1000 RR, which means the S1000 RR now sports carbon fiber winglets as standard on certain trims. These winglets aren't just for show, they generate real downforce at speed, pressing the front tire into the asphalt when you're pushing north of 200 km per hour. The result is better stability, especially when hard on the throttle or tipping into fast sweepers. Suspension is handled by fully adjustable Marzocchi USD forks up front and a WSBK-inspired rear shock. Riders who opt for the dynamic damping control package get semi-active suspension that constantly adjusts damping based on road conditions, riding mode, and even your riding style. It's like having a pit crew tweaking your setup on the fly. Braking is handled by twin 320mm discs up front with radially mounted 4-piston calipers, plus a single 220mm disc at the rear. Stopping power is fierce but smooth, and cornering ABS keeps things under control even if you get a little too ambitious with the front lever. Speaking of staying in control, the electronics suite on the 2025 S1000 RR is one of the most advanced in the superbike world. You get 4 base riding modes: Air, Road, Dynamic, and Race A, plus 3 Race Pro modes for fine-tuning your track setup. Each mode adjusts traction control, wheelie control, engine braking, throttle response, and ABS. The bike also comes with launch control, a pit lane speed limiter, hill start control, and a slick quick shifter for clutchless up and down shifts. If you love customizing every tiny detail, BMW's Race Pro modes let you tweak settings to suit your exact preferences, whether you're setting a personal best at the track or just want to dial things back for the street. The cockpit is dominated by a bright 6.5-inch TFT display that's clear and easy to read. Even in harsh sunlight, the interface is intuitive, and BMW's multi-controller on the left handlebar means you can toggle settings without taking your eyes off the road for long. The display also supports Bluetooth pairing for navigation, calls, and music. One area where BMW's really nailed it is blending performance with comfort. While this is still a track-focused machine, it's surprisingly rideable day-to-day. The riding position is aggressive but adjustable. Clip-ons, foot pegs, and seat height all offer options to find that sweet spot between control and comfort. The seat padding has been subtly improved too, so long rides don't become torture sessions. Visually, the 2025 S1000 RR stays true to its roots with that iconic asymmetrical styling. The front tent is unmistakable, with sharp LED headlights, integrated DRLs, and those sculpted fairings that slice through the air. The new tail section is slimmer and more aggressive, giving the bike a proper race-bred silhouette. If you want to dial it up a notch, BMW offers carbon fiber wheels and lightweight body panels in the optional M Package A because every gram counts when you're chasing tenths on a hot lap. Let's talk about the sound. That inline-4 roar has always been a signature of the S1000 RR, and the 2025 model is no different. The exhaust note is raw and mechanical, with a bark that turns heads wherever you go. BMW has tuned it to pass increasingly strict noise regulations, but they've managed to keep it exciting, especially when you roll on the throttle past 8,000 revolutions per minute. Pricing for the 2025 BMW S1000 RR starts at about $19,500. If you add options like the M Package, carbon wheels, or premium paint schemes, you're easily pushing past the $23,000 mark. It's not cheap, but you're getting a bike that's as close to a factory race machine as you can legally ride on public roads. What really sets the S1000 RR apart from its rivals is how complete it feels. Some superbikes focus purely on peak horsepower and numbers. Others brag about their stripped-down weight. The BMW does both but wraps it in a package that's genuinely usable every day. The rider aids make it forgiving enough for experienced riders who are new to leader bikes, yet there's enough performance and adjustability to thrill seasoned pros. In a segment where brands are constantly trying to outdo each other with bigger power figures and fancier electronics, the S1000 RR's secret weapon is balance. It's not just the numbers on paper, it's how they come together when you twist the throttle, tip it into a corner, or hit the brakes hard coming into a hairpin. It feels cohesive, confidence-inspiring, and somehow still approachable. If you're looking for a superbike that's dripping with MotoGP tech, has real-world practicality, and makes every ride feel like an event, the 2025 BMW S1000 RR should be at the top of your short list. BMW didn't reinvent the superbike with this version. They perfected what they started over a decade ago. So, what do you think? Is the 2025 S1000 RR the ultimate street-legal race bike? Or when you take something else like the Ducati Panigale V4 or Yamaha R1M instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing what you'd choose and why. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Wheel Reverend. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense bike reviews, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next ride. Until then, ride safe, ride hard, and keep revving.